How do we know what is true? Well, the easiest way is to experience something happening firsthand and make sure you write it down in great detail so you don't forget. In the past, we put more trust in vetted organizations such as newspapers or books for our truthful information, which we came across much less frequently. In the age of the internet, now anybody can publish a blog, open source book, or YouTube video like this one and claim to be a source of authority. What's even trickier is that any self-published information can reference other self-published information, and a chain of under-researched or problematic claims could reach very far. In the digital age, how can we know what's true and what's false? Turns out it's just as tricky as you might expect. There are a couple useful ideas about what truth itself is that can help us answer our question. Philosophers argue over two main categories of what makes something true: correspondence and coherence. Let's start with correspondence. Classically, we can say that something is true if it corresponds to a real event or object in the world. Some philosophers argue that truth corresponds to facts in the world, metaphysical things that are, by their nature, true. In general, this very intuitive theory would call anything true that we could point at in the real world and say, yes, this exists, or yes, this happened. It's true that I have a mailbox, because I can point to it. It's also true that people have landed on the moon, because that's a factual event that happened. Given what we discussed concerning digital reality in our previous video, the fact that there is a whole other reality of digital things that exist can become problematic for correspondence. Now, facts, objects, or events can also exist in a purely digital form. I can say truthfully that I have a Neopet, even though it exists as a collection of binary information. This poses problems for our brains because digital things, being very easy to create and sometimes only limited by imagination, increase the complexity of the space of things we normally consider real. The story is unfortunately not much better with coherence. Its classic theory argues that things are truthful if they can stand logically within a system of other true beliefs. This theory gives credence to the idea that truth must be logical, and that true assertions must be based on other truthful information. I know that water is composed of molecules made of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom because science, a system that, for the most part, rigorously discards untrue information, can back up my claim with other truths that have been verified. The challenge that digital reality brings to coherence is that there is just so much information floating around everywhere. Being coherent depends on verifying the truthfulness of any statement used to back up your claim. We see so much digital information through the internet that the task of rigorously ensuring its coherence is nearly impossible. Companies like Facebook attempt to comb through information posted on their platform and remove false stories, but this is incredibly difficult and equally problematic for freedom of speech. Between this increase in digital things to verify coherence of, and an explosion in information that truth could correspond to, humanity faces a bit of a crisis of truth. Undoubtedly, this has led to a rise in things such as fake news and deepfakes. It can be increasingly difficult to distinguish fact from fake, especially when technology is increasingly better at generating videos, stories, and photos that look indistinguishable from reality. The question stands: how do we even go forward living under such a system when truth is so crucial to the functioning of society? For the most part, we have no satisfying answer to this question. Some have argued for heavy censorship and moderation of digital information. Others are attempting to create a new paradigm through which we interact with the internet, where all information is meaningfully connected to its sources and displayed in a way that acknowledges its uncertainty. The most compelling step forward seems to employ a bit of this information restructuring and a bit of norm shifting. As societies, we still have a long way to go towards digital literacy in the sense that we are more rigorous in our skepticism of information. Healthy skepticism has always been warranted in navigating a propaganda-filled world, but we as a collective species seem to continue valuing new ways of tricking others in order to gain power, whether through marketing, advertisement, political propaganda, and so on. Everyone must become educated and empowered enough to question those who hold and propagate information. Accountability and peer review have never been as crucial in maintaining the health of our society as they are in our digital age. Truth may be complex and often nuanced, but our collective power can certainly rise to the challenge. By acknowledging the way digital reality changes our old notions of truth, we can begin to build a better world where truth again has a strong, defined meaning, where it overpowers lies and brings about the hopeful promises the digital world was built on. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. We welcome you to join us on this journey as we explore the hidden depths of human creativity. The road may be long and winding, but we're committed to changing the conversation surrounding technologies in our lives. Part of our goal is to bring a sense of community to our world of technology. Our devices sometimes serve to alienate us, so we would rather work to reverse this trend. For this reason, we encourage you all to share these ideas with your friends, families, coworkers, whomever, in order to develop a collective consciousness of understanding. We too love to hear from those who absorb our ideas and have thoughts of their own. Engaging with us on YouTube or on social media are great ways to grow the community of those who think and care about technology. The more we talk with each other about the systems that govern our lives, the better we'll be able to shape the present and future so our inventions work for us rather than exploit us. It'll take a bit of thought and a bit of effort, but we can work together to craft the technological future that we all deserve.